It's Rick without the K. James presents, in my opinion, podcast.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Thank you for watching. We are back here with In My Opinion podcast. I've got a legendary comic who has seen it all, done it all. It's the man, the myth, the legend, one of the original kings of comedy, Mr. DL Hughley.
Nice to see you, baby boy.
So, thank you for being a part of this podcast.
For sure, my pleasure.
I always like to throw it out there that I live and consume comedy.
And you're a wise man.
So I've watched you on so many podcasts, and I can't wait to do this interview. I barely slept last night. So
and thanks for the cigar.
So no worries. Enjoy. And I know one of them was a mild and one of them was a darker. So yeah. So I guess we'll start off. I like to let my viewers know, when did you start comedy? And the reason I asked that, DL, is because I also asked who was in your class. Class meaning like who did comedy with you in that 4 or 5 years.
I started out with Joe Torre and Eddie Griffin and Jamie Foxx and Mark Curry and Earthquake and Chappelle and Martin. So it's Damon Wayne was a little before us, but we started off in that kind of sphere.
And that was in Los Angeles, correct?
In LA.
Okay. And if what I saw is you did a lot of, was it comedy theater down there?
Comedy Act Theater, right.
Comedy Act Theater.
Yeah, at the Regency West, yeah.
And
which was the precursor to Def Jam.
And I can't say correct, but the only reason I know that is because the new documentary that came out, the Fat Tuesday, which Jay, your opener, was on, right? And that was such a great documentary,
right.
and it was to let the viewers know, like, I didn't know about the Comedy Act Theater, but then I started comedy up here.
Right.
Now I say that because how long have you been coming to this club, Tommy T's, here in Pleasanton?
It's 15, 20 years, right?
15, 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I asked that because I wanted to know, like, I know when you come here, one of my guys usually comes and says, "What's up to you, Mr. Daniel Dugar?"
Okay, he was my opening act for years till I couldn't afford him. He was for years. That's what kind of happens. So you'll have a guy, what was Dugar or Malik S or Ali Sadiq or Jay or Bodacious. They'll Clint Coley. They'll be with you, and then all of a sudden you can't find them anymore because they booked. And you'll see them playing the same joints you do, so you kind of done something right.
Okay. Was there anybody else from the Bay that like, I guess if you've only done it like 15 years, Lunel wouldn't have opened up for you then, right?
No, I'm talking about this club, but I'm talking about the Bay Area I've been coming to for. My first manager was a cat named Tony Spires, who was from the Bay Area.
Okay. And
I got him at the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition, which is where I really started coming to Oakland a lot. So there was Donald Lacey and D. Allen Moss and John Austin. The funniest man I'd ever seen when I first started coming up here. One of the funniest human beings I've ever seen anywhere was Mark Curry. I saw him and he was like, I was like, I'm doing something wrong. 'Cause this dude. And so the Bay Area has always been very influential. I've done 2 HBO specials in San Francisco.
Okay.
It's been something a place I've always just loved to be.
And I've gotten a chance to open with Mark. He's a stand-up gentleman. Always been really nice. Right. So I do want to throw that out there. Well, he's been nice to me because there's been other comics where I'm like, whoa. Like,
fuck that.
and that's what it comes down to sometimes, right? I did want to bring this up because I wanted to know, and when I was a kid, right? I think you're just a little bit older than me, but I'm 42, right?
I'm a lot older.
But I remember seeing you on Fresh Prince, and that episode was one of my favorite ones, besides the dad leaving him or whatever. But it was always, and I think I kind of want to give you credit for the fact that when I saw that, I thought Will Smith was the coolest guy ever. And you made him look so dumb in that episode.
No, well, it's a funny thing because I was their warm up. So I used to warm up the show. And matter of fact, I'd gotten fired, and then 3 weeks later, Will called me and said, "Come back, and nobody will do anything to you again." So he brought me back. Because he knew I needed. Back then, my family was very new, and I was just working on the road. and to get benefits, union benefits, you have to pay union gigs, and the warm up was a union gig.
Oh, okay.
So I got benefits, and so he knew that and brought me back. But the episode was because I used to do warm up so much. They just gave me an episode.
Oh, see, didn't know that.
Yeah,
Didn't know that. I just know that when I watched the episode and you was like, you basically kicked him off stage and said, let a pro do this.
Right.
I was like, man, I want to do that one day.
Right. And now look at you. Yeah, for sure.
So I just, did that lead to other things in the industry?
Well,
was that, because that was the first time that I saw you. So,
well, I did BET, and I had a bunch of series that never really went. We did a bunch of Def Jam episodes. I had BET, Comic View. But I really started to. I had done a few HBO specials, but it really broke for me when I got the Hughleys around 90.
Okay.
But I remember when I used to play clubs, they would. So clubs were very white back then. So the first comedy club, proper comedy club I played, because I used to play. Strip joints or dance clubs or little halls they rented out or banquet, those kind of things. But the first joint I ever played that was a comedy club was in Cleveland, and they wouldn't give me a guarantee, but they said you can have 90% of the door. So I sold out 12 shows or something like that. Made a bunch of money, and then they started changing the deal. Like, well, no, we'll do, so. My first entree into mainstream comedy clubs, the Improv, the Funny Bones, those kind of things, was 10, 12 years, about 8 years after I started comedy. So it took a long time to break into those joints.
Boy, Charlie Murphy, my main man, Ric James. That's the one you think, the comedian Ric James. Get up.
I can't hear my neighbor crying, I can't breathe.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Thank you for watching.